Welcome to another edition of Morse World TV. I am your host, Brother Tahaka Bey, and I hope that we have a beautiful evening tonight. I hope everybody's doing well. How are you? Is everybody doing well? I hope that everybody's doing well. We're in the building tonight. We have a guest tonight. Yeah, we have a guest tonight. Yep. And I hope that you're prepared. This is going to be one to remember. Just because what I've spoke to the brother behind the scenes in the green screen, in the green room, they call it green room. My bad. They call it the green room. So, So we in the building. I hope I see you in the building shortly. Let me make sure I get this right. I hope did y'all share this yet? Did y'all share this yet? Family, this is going to be one for the books. Somebody share this to Malcolm Flex. I would love to invite Malcolm Flex. Can y'all hear me well? I would love to invite Malcolm Flex on the show. I would love to invite Malcolm Flex. The brother that I'm bringing on the show, he's ready to talk to anybody. I'm not that. I can say that I'm not that familiar with barbershop talk. I'm really not. I remember one time, Inky when me and Inky was doing the show together, Inky had asked me to come on the barbershop talk with him. And I think I was busy or something and I was unable to do it. But nevertheless, that's about far as it got because I'm so busy. But at the end of the day, family, I seen a film that the brother made, and yeah. It's a whole different take on the NOI, and I'm just making sure that we get this shared. And what I mean a whole different take, some of the stuff that we've heard, is still there, but then you have these exclusive interviews. You know what I'm saying? That really takes it to a whole nother level. It's one thing when you research something. Let me make sure I share this. I hope y'all sharing it too. It's one thing when you research something, and it's a whole nother thing when not only do you research, but you also have people to corroborate what you're talking about. That's when it becomes a game changer. You know what I mean? So, family, I want to make sure everybody's in the building. It seemed like y'all slow moving in tonight. What happened? Y'all didn't get the alert or something? Ain't nobody get the alert or something? I don't see my people in the building. Let me see why I wait for y'all. Let me see something. Let me see. I don't see my people in the building. What's going on? Where everybody at tonight? What's tonight? Let me see. Maybe I'm off tonight, Thursday. Oh, y'all getting ready for the party tomorrow. And that was going on. There we go. Dr. Queen Samara in the building. Sister Moody Hill. Here she go. Let's go. The doc is in the building. Demetrius is in the building. Now, here we go. Now we about to cook. Now we about to get some peas and rice up on this demonstration. Family, this is going to be one for the bugs. Woes dot. 50. That's right. You ain't, man, if you were 50, you supposed to be in here. Because you remember when NOI was in the community going in them projects. See, back in the day, we used to think like NOI was the superheroes of the community. We didn't know that they were getting paid by the government. We didn't know. We didn't know that they had negotiated with the government to be in the projects. We thought they was doing some good charitable acts. But in fact, they had contracts with the same government they call the devil. I'm just saying now. I'm saying get your money, but I'm just saying. Get your money, but I'm just saying it's hard. Like I don't run with that teaching the white man the devil. I'm to the point, I'm grown now, and I'm going to hold you accountable for who you are. That mean, yeah, we got some Europeans out here that's super devilish. You know what I mean? We got some Negroes out here that's super devilish too. So I'm going to hold you to what you are. You know what I mean? Show me what you are, and I'm going to hold you to that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I think the blame game is what leave us behind, for real. I think it leaves us way behind as it relates to where the world is going to. The world takes responsibility. The world trying to find some oil fields. The world is trying to find some mines, diamonds. The world is trying to come up with the next technology to supersede the former technology. The world is trying to move forward, and we stuck in talking about it's the immigrants, it's the white man, it's the like come on. At some point, we can acknowledge history and we can acknowledge what's going on in reality, like the immigration. We can acknowledge that, but at some point, we're going to have to take responsibility, man. We're going to have to build some real towns, not talking about, I want the white man to give me my own land. They should also give me, listen, they should do a lot of things, but do you think that they went through all of this trouble just to give you something now? Do you really think so? Like, this is a lot, like, let's put it in perspective, right? We chilling on the shores of Africa. Some of us is of the thought that we're chilling here in America, but wherever we chilling at, we're just chilling. And here comes Billy and them. Come on, come and work for me, people. I'm not going to pay you. I'm not going to feed you right, nor am I going to treat you right. I'm going to take advantage of your children, your women, and possibly, if things are going bad on that day, take advantage of you in ways that you never imagined. A few of us is going to die making this happen. And now, fast forward, I'm going to restore everything that I tore apart. I'm going to repay you. Matter of fact, not only you, I'm going to repay you and everybody who makes a claim that I have destroyed. What kind of sense does that make? At some point, we got to get ourselves together and go and get that which is ours. We got to take our place in the affairs of men. We got to do it. So, to my point, that I am not of the thought that we can play the blame game up out of this. I just don't. I'm just not of that thought. So we got a brother, Kyle Muhammad. He said, Assalamu alaikum. I say, wa alaikum salam, brother. Salute to the NOI for years of service, work, and tremendous sacrifice. And now, if I say, now I want to be the angel's advocate. If I say that service and that sacrifice was rewarded to the NOI and to the administrators of the NOI, but the public still is in the same state. Our public, I'm talking about that. We are still in the same state we were, and in some reports are even worse and worse. In worse conditions. I mean, how do we measure this? How do we measure this? You know, and let me tell you something. I know brothers, beloved brothers, FOI brothers, that the NOI changed their life. They do some wonderful things. The teachings that they subscribe to and the discipline that they acquired got them doing some wonderful things. However, on the grand scale, is it practical? Is it reasonable? Is it logical for any and everybody? Number one. And how real is it for number two? Is what is taught in the NOI, is it legitimate as it relates to history, logic and reason, and science? And do the teachers of that philosophy live by that philosophy? Tonight we got a guest brother. He's in the building.
Oh,
This is
hey.
Brother Frederick. This is Brother Frederick from Barbershop Conversation, brother. It's an honor to have you on the show. And
Oh,
like I said, I've never, at the end of the day, somebody say, "Come on," reformers say, "Come on, quit playing, bro." Listen, I would. Before I bring you on, I want to just talk to the comment section for a second. I will bring you on, and I will be willing to debate how impactful NOI really was. I'll be willing to debate that. I think they did some good things. Don't get it twisted. But I think they get good things in personal lives, not
right.
as a collective of an organization dedicated for the uplifting of the total quote unquote black community. I think a lot of things that the NOI did benefited NOI and not the total community at large. And if you was not a part of the NOI, you did not benefit from the fruits of NOI unless you join NOI. I'm just of that thought though. That's my thought. I could be wrong. But with that being said, I'm not going to get caught up in the comment section because we're going to have a nice let me get him real quick. He says, "The enemy counters the works of messiahs and helpers. The enemy understand and steps up to controlling the airwaves. You know the workers by their enemies." I'm not sure what you mean by that. Is that the blame game again? Is that so we don't have an opinion? like many people say, "Oh, why are you going against the black man?" Nah, I got an opinion. I got an opinion, and it's and I got some facts that's founded on research. I mean, what do we do? Do we hold our opinion or the facts that we discover to ourselves? For the simple fact, somebody said, "Who is more impactful, the NOI or the MST of A?" I say they on the same playing field. You ask me. I don't think the MST of A has been impactful since the time of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And I don't think the NOI has been impactful in the way that people give the credit to. I don't think people understand what actually really happened. You know what I'm saying? So once again, I don't think the MST of A has been impactful since 1929. And I think people misunderstand the impact of NOI. That's what I'm saying. Anybody want to debate me on that? Anybody want to debate me on that? I mean, anybody? I will accept any debate on the impact of NOI. And I will pull back the layers with my research, and I will show that what you thought was impactful was nothing but government contracts. There was nothing but every time you seen the NOI in the projects, those were government contracts. When you see NOI in the prison, those was government contracts. The government paid NOI. If you calling the government the devil, you calling a white man the devil, why would the devil then pay you to go into the prison? I'm just saying. And this all can be proven. So when you saying things like that, you have to understand the variables of what you're saying. You got to understand the variables. But with that being said, that's enough for me because I got my own research and Brother Frederick got his own research family. If you look in the description section, there's a link to Brother Frederick channel called Barbershop Conversations. When you get a chance, go hit that link and scroll through his podcast, scroll through his presentations, and you will see this conversation. But this one going to be on steroids because I'm interviewing him. But you're going to see this and quite some more because he's been on this for quite some time. So, brother, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Brother, I really appreciate you taking the time tonight. Welcome to the show.
Thank
We
you,
about to get started, family.
I'm ready.
We about to get started, family. Now, brother,
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been podcasting?
I covered boxing, and so I would say about 2016, 2017. I would say I've been on YouTube somewhere in there, and it kind of morphed itself in terms of like from boxing to social issues to historical perspectives to historical truths. dispelling historical myths. Now we just talk about it. Now I just talk about everything now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's good times, man. I talk about everything, and one of my hottest topics was talking about the NOI, especially during COVID. You know, because as I was telling you, I took about 2 years working on 9 Wives, which was a film that I sent you. I film went all over the world, man. We won about 20 film festivals, was nominated in about 50 of them. It was extraordinary. The film was extraordinary, and that's what got me my renown on YouTube. You know, so but it's been a fun ride. It's been a real fun ride.
What drove you? What interested you to? Were you involved in the Nation of Islam, or
Never,
what
never.
got you into the topic of looking into the historicity of the Nation of Islam?
Sure. I was born in Harlem. I was born in the same hospital where Malcolm X took his last breath, or maybe he took his last breath at the Audubon Ballroom. And so I've always been fascinated with Malcolm X because he resembles a lot of my family members. He resembles my community, you know, Harlem, where you make a few mistakes or a lot of mistakes as a young adult or an older child, and some people go to prison, some people don't get caught, and you change your life, and you become a beacon of masculinity. And so I've always had an affinity for Malcolm X. The fact that he read, the fact that he was upstanding, the fact that he went to the same community in which he was peddling prostitutes and selling reefer at the time. That's what they called it. Lucy's, that's what they call it in New York. Well, you from the East Coast, they call it Lucy's over there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the fact that he can go from a shuck and jiver to a man of upper standing is in the same neighborhood on the same streets. It's pretty remarkable, man. And I just think the last 10 to 12 years of Malcolm X's life was something that should be studied, you know.
Right.
And I took it upon myself to actually study it, you know.
When you begin to study it, did you feel, as the saying goes, I felt some type of way when you found that the NOI could possibly had a hand in the death of Malcolm X? Did you feel some type of way?
Well, it's two words I want to correct you on. You said the death, the murder.
Okay.
Not possibly. It wasn't possibly. Mos 25 was ultimately responsible for it. It's no secret. It's the fact that Black people, the fact that Americans, the fact that people who believe in humanity, because I don't want to separate us by religion, the fact that people who believe in humanity has allowed this to be like this untalked about secret, you know, is pretty shameful, you know. I genuinely believe that in order to heal, you got to hit the wounds must heal, and Black people were too afraid. You know, Black people are just too attached to ignorance and like cultural doctrine, and the NOI has not done what they said they were gonna do. You know, and they're more or less a gang. They're a sex cult. You know, they're frauds in the community. They need to take nation off of their name. They're just hodgepodge groups. You know, they're just a group of men. They're just
my God.
No, seriously, they are just a group of men. Because what do they own?
Water source. Hey brother, I want you to talk. I got to get my kombucha on this one. I got to do my club Shay Shay on this one. Oh no, cat. You know,
man, I've done too much research on this matter. I've interviewed too many people. They all get old and they all become shade tree mechanics. You know, you've never seen a 75-year-old Nation of Islam member that owns a whole block. Have you?
No, brother.
No, you've never. They've been around for 94. How many years now?
Yeah, 1930.
Nobody owns a block.
So, man, I got to ask the hard questions, brother.
Please.
Do you people would say that you're coming for the Nation of Islam
Sure.
because possibly you could be getting paid by the quote unquote establishment, the white man, et cetera, et cetera. Somebody in the chat had already said,
Yeah,
is he getting paid for this? What do you say to that?
No, Elijah Muhammad and Louis Farrakhan getting paid by the white man. Didn't you talk about the government contracts they got going in the prisons, all up and down Baltimore in those projects? Remember in the D.C. area, the AIDS research that they did. You know, the what's that church of Scientology? You go and take a test and they get paid. You talk about I'm getting paid by the white man. They've got millions from the white man. You know, Elijah Muhammad was recognized by Nixon. Talking about getting paid by the white man. You know, he died in a white man's hospital, Mercy Hospital. You know, he's buried in a white man's cemetery. Like, so what? So what are people saying? What does white mean to you? like W.D. Farad slept with a white man, slept with a white woman, and created the Nation of Islam. So give me a damn break.
Come on, Fred.
When people talk about white, what are they talking?
Hold on.
What are they talking about? White? You get what I'm saying? Like, why you getting off screen, man? Why you getting off screen, man? Come on, come join me.
I'm going to get my kombucha. Hold on, keep talking.
So at the end of the day, I think you guys have. I'm not reading the chat. I can't see it. You guys have misplaced anger. You guys have been hoodwinked and bamboozled. You know, the fact that you say, "Are you getting paid by the white man?" and you're driving a Toyota Camry. The fact that you say, "Oh, you getting paid by the white man." These are just talking points. They have no meat on their bone. Do you go to your bank when you borrowed money for your car that you're still making payments on? Did you get that from the Nation of Islam Bank? When you bought your home, did you go to the Nation of Islam Bank? So you guys are fully just uneducated. You know, we have a nation of stupidity. I genuinely believe like it's a whole nation of stupidity, and it's not just centered around black men and black women. It's centered around stupidity, because it's not ignorance, because we have Google, we have YouTube now, we have our smartphone. So all you have to do is ask Siri, you know, and much of the information that you need can be placed upon you. So I think when black people say, "Oh, you for the white man," did you go build your home and buy 13 acres? Every time someone asks you, "Are you the white man?" ask them how many acres did they build their house on. Ask them, did they go in the backyard and get the kale, get the apples, get the tomatoes? If they're not doing that, tell them to shut the hell up.
I'm gonna make me some elderberry kombucha, brother. This is I got some elderberry that my wife got. We got elderberry trees, bushes, whatever. We actually have them here, and my wife actually make our own elderberry. This is kombucha.
Yeah, yeah. So I think black, and since you mentioned black people, and I know a black person put that in the comment. Shut the hell up, like for real. Just shut the hell up.
Oh, come on, Fred.
No, they have to shut up because they're driving a Cadillac. They're driving a Ford Bronco. They're not driving an NOI sports car.
Oh,
they're not driving an NOI Southwest NOI. So when people say, "Oh, black this, black that," they're frauds, just like the nation, because they have no water source.
Oh my goodness, brother! You sound like me on steroids right now. No, I always said on my show that we talk this stuff, but we can't even flush our own doo doo.
No, it's not. No, the only person living large is Louis Farrakhan. You know, how do you gain 100 pounds on an NOI diet? Right? Talk to me.
brother, do you feel nervous saying these things?
No, never, never. Nah, not at all. You know, people just need to wake up. People really genuinely need to wake up. You know, the fact that the Nation of Islam in 2024 only meets once a year, Savior's Day, right? February 25th, I think it is, is retarded.
But
How
they
are you
meet,
meeting?
but they meet every week in the mosque throughout the country, right?
Well, not in LA. I mean, I think it's been foreclosed on or something. Like they
Come
never owned the
on.
building on 88th in Vermont. I'm being honest. I grew up on 91st in Vermont. I saw them as a child. Ask them, do they own the building on 88th in Vermont? They used to be at
Fred.
Moss 27 used to be at 5606 Broadway. I've done a lot of research on this, man. I drive by 5606 Broadway at least 2 to 3 times a week. They never owned the building, man. That's right where Ronald Stokes got murdered. So feel free to Google those pictures. Malcolm X coming out the building after he eulogized him. You can go watch. It was April 27th, I think that happened. And then they moved to 88th in Vermont.
This brother King Cam say the Nation of Islam has 2 farms, stores, a national center, restaurants, and barbershops.
Okay. Where's the bank? Where's your water source? You said nation. You're not people. Those are entrepreneurs.
Is it so? Are you saying that members may have some of these things, but the actual organization, how does that work?
Yeah, like so. For example, there are entrepreneurs that are members of the Nation of Islam.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. But I'm not even gonna say but. In addition to that, is that a nation, or is that just a brick and mortar store, or a brick and mortar of commerce? And it's not on their land. So you got to understand something. They said nation. It's not on their land.
Right.
They're leasing it from somebody else. They're leasing the building from somebody else to sell a product to the community.
I get what you're saying.
It's not on their land.
So Kyle Muhammad said he said Fred just lied. He said none of us own the block. That's what he just said. No one owns the block. He's saying that somebody is leasing it from somebody else, probably a European, most likely.
Yeah, like people always want to find a caveat so they can re-establish their lie.
Let's rewind real quick.
Yeah, okay, please.
Let's start from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna leave the comments alone for a second. Okay. Let's start from the beginning.
Yes.
You said you've done plenty of research.
Mm-hmm.
What was your research when it came to Master Farrakhan Muhammad? Off camera, you talked about how you spoke with John Ali. You spoke with the wives. You spent the day with him.
Yeah.
And what was the research about Master Farrakhan Muhammad? That you concluded. What did you conclude? Was he a European? Was he an Arab? Was he?
He was not black. He was like Indian Arab somewhere in there. I spent about hours interviewing, about 30 hours interviewing Khalid Ali. I interviewed his niece. I interviewed John Ali. Damn near every Nation of Islam member that's over 75, 80 years old, New Jersey, off the record, on the record. Interviewed Louis Farrakhan mistresses on the record.
Man, let me take some notes because you're moving too fast for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I want to hear what you came up with Master Farrakhan Muhammad.
Master Farrakhan was a career criminal. He was just a career criminal, man. It was nothing special about him. He was like he was basically Eminem in a suit. He was Eminem in a suit. He talked with great cadence. He had a presence about him, and he had the ability to manipulate. He can rap like Snoop Dogg. And that got him in the door. And now Barack Obama is using him to get the black vote in Detroit. That's how it goes. He's no more, no less than an Eminem, no more, no less than the what's the kid from I don't know, Sean, you know that guy. Sean, who? I don't know. You know the guy that was during COVID. He was the white dude that was speaking for black people. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah. But
whatever his name is. Yeah, that's all he is. You know, he was like a liberal white man, basically.
so when you look at the relationship with him and Elijah Muhammad, what did you discover in your research about that? Because it seems to me in the research that I have, and I'm not going to give up too much because I want you to lay out all your premise. It seems to me that where he left off, Elijah picked up. It doesn't seem like it was. It doesn't seem as the story was told like this was this great relationship, and he was appointed according to some of the letters that I read from Master Farrakhan Muhammad. When he went back to California, he had told Elijah Muhammad to stop teaching because he didn't understand what he was teaching. But go ahead. I just want to hear your take on it.
The short end of it, it was a hustle. That's all it was. It was a hustle. And when you got the black belt, so Detroit, since the turn of the 19th century and the implementation of industrialization and music and the car industry, it's always been a belt. And because you got the water source right there from Canada, so it's always been a source. So you've always had like jobs. You've always had
right.
So with that being said, when you got an untapped market, right? W.D. Farad tapped into that market, and it's not necessarily I believe. I'm not there, so I'm putting the stories together, right? I'm putting like let's say one person says this, one person says that, and I put it together, right?
Right.
Basically, simplified. Elijah Muhammad was on the corner, and they may even went to jail together. But Elijah Muhammad Farad was on the corner, hanging out, drinking, or partying, or talking.
No, bro, you can't say that.
I'm just giving you an example.
Oh, you're saying that this is a possible scenario, not founded on fact, but it's a possible scenario.
No, possible.
Right, yeah. I got you. All right.
And they became street friends. And they hustled. They did everything. They said, hold up. This religion thing is where it's at. We can convince people to follow this in which we make up. And they pulled from every religion. And just like the white people, just like poor black people, they use race. And that's simply what the Nation of Islam is. It's a conversation on the street corner with a little bit of truth, sprinkle a little bit of Christianity, sprinkle a little bit of the Torah, sprinkle a little bit of every other religion, and you glue it all together with racism.
Come on, Fred.
That's the truth.
How you come up with this one, though?
Because I've interviewed so many people and I understand it. Like I simply understand it. The Nation of Islam never had a book. So they had to co-join themselves with a book.
Good goodness gracious.
Yes. So they used a book that was already founded in truth. There's no color in no religious book. There's color, right? Right. Hair like bronze. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, but there's nothing in nobody religious book is the white man the devil. You get what I'm saying?
Why do you think that teaching was one of the they have many teachings, right. And that's one of many. Why do you think that teaching? And even somebody asked me, well, why are you always focusing on that? With other teachings, why is that teaching is the primary focus?
Simple. Their parents were descendants of slaves. Remember, before 1930, the generation before 1930 were slaves. So they're connected to it.
Right.
The community is connected to it. We own no land. I'm saying we because I'm not attached to that. But attached to that means I wasn't there. right? Um, the people in the 1930s as a whole owned no land. They were in the service industries. So they, go ahead. Someone wants to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say something. Somebody said, Islam, my brother, you're just as guilty as brother Fred. And brother, you're just as guilty. You're right here with us. This is an interview and a conversation. And on Morse World TV, we're not silenced by guilt. We're going to have a conversation, and you don't have to join it. You can carry on and do what you wish to do. But this is a conversation. And this is one of the problems that we have in our community, and we're unable to move forward. Because soon as we have a conversation that is disagreeable or a conversation that goes against somebody's belief system, the first thing that happens is we try to shame or threaten or even humiliate one who has a different research from what you're used to or difference of opinion. But on Morse World TV, brother, you're going to have to take it somewhere else because we're going to have the conversation.
I'm so over people like him. He's still waiting to get permission from Louis Farrakhan. Tell him to shut the hell up. Like he's still asking for, hey,
come on, Fred.
I'm still waiting on a letter from Chicago to get permission, like Wesley Muhammad, to get a job. Like how the hell, if you're leading a family, you need another man to lead you?
Oh, come on,
when
Fred.
another man says he has a leader, he's a fool.
But Wesley went to, I have a leader though, bro. Not, I mean, as of now, I am a leader now. I think everybody. I think
no.
I think everybody.
Information. No. You're not the leader. You're a conduit of information.
What I'm saying is this. If you're growing up, to be fair, your dad had to lead you at some point until you was ready to lead.
Yes.
Your teachers had to lead you until you were ready to lead.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so me, I am a leader in that regard. I lead to those who are ready to be released so they can lead, and then it goes a cycle like that. But everybody needs a leader at some point.
You're conflating. You're conflating two topics. You can't live your life.
Do you mean blindly following?
Yeah, like one, blindly following. Two, you can't move your life forward without permission. Like I see. See, and that's one of the problems that, like, as you do your research, you're like, damn, how the hell is Malcolm so intelligent? Why was he following this man? He's street savvy. He's book smart. He's a great communicator. He's savvy. He's articulate. Like, why would he? But you know, when you give up your youth and you lose your father so young, you're impressionable, and that's why they use the prisons, because they're impressionable. And then when you wake up, the last 3 years, 4 years of Malcolm X's life, maybe a handful of years in private and 2 years public, he like, hold up, man, this man Elijah Muhammad ain't who he say he is. You know, I mean, it's confirmed he had all those women because he had kids. Go ahead. John Ali told me. John Ali said, "I saw with my."
Let me rewind you. For those who don't know, who is John Ali? Because you mentioned him quite a. Man, this might have to be a serious now. But hold up, brother Fred.
Yes.
Do you know that on November the 2nd, here on Morse World TV, we're bringing back Melchizedek. So be careful, brother. After that, you and him are going to have a set down.
Yeah, and you know
at your request.
At my request, absolutely. And
are you really ready for that, brother?
Not on his firsthand experiences, absolutely not, because he lived it.
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, you were there. You have knowledge of it. No, I'm not even going to challenge him on that. But what I will challenge on him is, if you're a Nation of Islam member and you got 17 names in your title,
oh, come on,
show me an 80-unit building you own.
So
because he said it was an economics. The base of the Nation of Islam was economics. Show me your successful economics.
Oh my goodness, man.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm saying, oh my
That's one of the
goodness,
core
because
principles, right? He
brother,
said,
I'm saying that because I did a presentation and I showed that a lot of the finances came from Europeans and they
yes,
came in
H.L.
the late
Hunt and
60s.
everybody else, the
Yeah, and
government.
that's
Yes.
and I was trying to explain and I was trying to be nice about it as I said that if it's a real economic plan, it doesn't collapse in 3 or 4 years. It actually jumped and then pew. By the time Elijah was about to transition, many of those endeavors was bankrupt.
Yeah.
Many of them, they were bankrupt.
Yeah.
But I need you to tell us, who is John Ali so we can get into that conversation. Who exactly
John
is he?
Ali was Elijah Muhammad's, let's say, right-hand man, national secretary. Google the name. He was the man that spoke ill. He was the man standing behind Elijah Muhammad when he found out Malcolm X lost his life. He's the man of a million secrets. He was the man that controlled Muhammad Ali's money. He was like the middleman to Elijah Muhammad, especially financially. You know, he was basically his legal his friend and his right hand man legally. You know, he tied all the strings together. You know, he had a college degree. He had some type of business acumen. And we were driving around Chicago, and he told me where his office was and all that stuff. So I have all that on cameras. I haven't released the interview yet.
So what did he have to say when you interviewed him? Like in particular, is he of the thought that it was
not
legit and it fell apart?
Yeah, that they murdered Malcolm X.
No, not even about the Malcolm X. I'm talking about the organization. Was he of the thought that like, it's a real thing. However, it's not what it should. It didn't turn out what it should have been, or something like that. Is he of that thought that Elijah Muhammad is the messenger and that Master?
Oh, he's 100%. He's 100% a still follower of Elijah Muhammad. 100%. And I even asked him. I was like, why? Like, why are you still honoring this dead man? You know what I mean? He lives in his unit was so old that the bed folds up in the wall. He's living on Social Security. He was in a like halfway house, senior living something type home, chain smoker.
No, bro.
No, yeah. He's 90-something years old. Yeah. I spent the day with him. I spent the whole day with him. And he thanked me. He's like, man, like, man, when you get that old, you just want someone to get it off your chest. Like literally, I spent 10 hours, 12 hours with him, sun up to sundown. He didn't get home till like 9 o'clock. I think I kept the last message he sent me. But he was just so happy. I ain't gonna even lie. He was so happy. He was just, man, he genuinely was, man. And
but he still was of the thought that Elijah was the messenger.
Oh, 100%.
And that Master Farrakhan Muhammad was God in the person.
Had his picture on he had a small picture of him in like a frame, and he says he wants no parts of Louis Farrakhan. He said Louis Farrakhan owes him money for the books. He said he wrote the books. He said Elijah Muhammad didn't write the books. He said he wrote the books.
Bro, stop, bro. Bro, let me tell you something.
I'm telling the guy I have it on interview.
Listen to what I say. Listen to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So in my research, and I got some deep research, and I said, I am of the thought. Now, this was just speculation. I am of the thought that Elijah didn't write them books, and this is why I was of the thought. Because not until 1960, there were no books written by Elijah Muhammad. There was no. I don't think any of those books was written. Definitely not before 1950. Definitely. And when Elijah went to jail, and after he got out to jail, at some time after that did all the books come about. And I'm saying to myself that it will behoove me to believe that one that has been around from 1930 to 1950 or 60s haven't write a book, and now after that they're just popping out. Pop, how to eat to live, message to the black man. Now this could still be his thoughts. Don't get that twisted. But I was always wondering, like, is that possible that somebody else wrote these books? Because it just didn't make sense after all of that time from 1930 all the way up to 50 or 60. Mm-hmm. There were no books.
Right. And I mean, people got to understand, like, he was navigating as he went along. Just think, if there was no Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad wouldn't be anything. Over 40 temples. He got to the younger audience. He got out of the prisons and into the colleges. He made it cool. He made it acceptable. He made it cool to wear a bow tie. Elijah Muhammad couldn't talk. Elijah Muhammad had bronchitis for like 15, 20 years. He can't talk for an hour. So he didn't have the ability. He couldn't physically reach you. He couldn't physically talk for an hour or physically stand for an hour. So it would have perished. It would have perished a long time. What, they have 400 members, and then now they, the whatchamacall was built in Malcolm X's basement.
Let me say this to Brother King Cam. He said, how can you say that your platform is about truth and intelligent conversation, but platform lies and spread misinformation to the people? Brother King Cam, I invite you on the platform, and you can debate your truths against what you call lies, brother. I said we are going to have a conversation. You welcome. I will debate you on any of the information.
No, it's not even a debate. Just show me what you own.
I want to debate. I want to debate the intellectual and the historicity of the nation. See, I would debate. No. I'm saying me. I'm speaking for myself. Yeah. I will debate the historicity of the Nation of Islam. I will also debate the logic surrounding the economic program of the Nation of Islam. I would debate any topic of the Nation of Islam, long as it's respectful. I would debate anybody. But now your conversation is a little bit different than mine. You're saying that if you're talking about nation, then show and prove.
Yeah, man. A 40-year-old man is still blaming things and ideologies and people outside of his home. He done smoked weed, got high, and had sex with 50 women, then had 13 jobs, then went to trade school, went to college, and you still, man, come on, man.
Kyle Muhammad. Let me get Kyle out so we can move on to some other aspects of this conversation. Kyle Muhammad 96 says, "Tell Fred to show and prove." I'm not sure. Let me say this. Kyle Muhammad, give me something specific of show and prove, because that could mean a lot of things. Oh, I guess he's gone. King Cam, hit me at tahakabay@gmail.com. We can debate on Sunday. Just give me the talks that you want to debate. Let me see. Morse World MWTV updates. Let me put it in here. We can do it on Sunday. But I just need the talking points when you email me.
All they want to do is debate. Go buy something.
I want to debate.
No, why? Go buy something.
That's what I do.
Go own something.
Yeah, so hit me up right there at mwtvupdates@gmail.com.
Man, all they want to do is debate and get internet clout, man.
I never had a debate, brother. You don't debate. I debate.
Oh yeah.
You know I think debating is a good thing. I don't think debating is a bad thing. I love debates, but I love them to be respectful, and I love them to be founded on truth, evidence, and receipts. That's it. And I got all mine ready.
Mm-hmm. I'm not willing to debate because you're not showing proof of what the Nation of Islam is. You understand? If you're not living to the standard of what you're protecting and advocating for, shut the hell up.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, there is still a philosophy and a theology that is that people use as their standard. You know what I mean? So I'm willing to debate any of that. Because I don't as you mentioned that the NOI don't have a book. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
They didn't
how
have
do you
a book. They didn't have a book. That's why they used.
So how do you come up with your standard? So that's why I say I'm willing to debate anything.
Okay.
I'm willing to debate anything. The debate's been had. I'm willing to debate anything and anybody. I'm talking about from Wesley all the way to Brother King Cam. As long as it's respectful, though. I don't like goofy hooping and hollering and cussing and all that. I'm not into all that. I keep it moving. So while you're looking for that, so John Ali. Some say that John Ali was a federal informant. Is that true?
I asked him about that. And he said he went down and interviewed. He went down and interviewed with the FBI. He met with J. Edgar Hoover, and he went through a series of interviews. He did everything, and he said ultimately they didn't choose him. That's what he told me on camera.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what he told me. I have the 2-hour interview. I have it. 2 hours.
But isn't that kind of suspect that one to say he went to be interviewed but they didn't choose him? That sound kind of. Is that how that worked?
Nah, it's real simple. He was easy to infiltrate because keep in mind he went to a college. He was educated. So at the end of the day, he's the arm.
Right.
He's the arm of the resources. Elijah Muhammad is a street nigga. You get what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness! Come on, brother.
No, I'm telling you what he is. Like he went to, man. Farrakhan Muhammad was a dumb criminal in L.A.
Oh, man. Come on, Fred.
He was selling illegal stuff out of a restaurant.
Come on, Fred.
Man, I'm just being honest. I'm just that's just who they are. That's just who they are. He was an uneducated man from Georgia that migrated to the north. Have you ever seen Elijah Muhammad read?
Oh, come on, Fred.
No, I'm asking you a question. Have you ever seen Elijah Muhammad sit down and read, or is he always talking?
Yeah, Fred.
Exactly my point.
Oh man.
Exactly my point. That's why John Ali, I believe John Ali wrote the books. We've never seen Elijah Muhammad writing and scribing and doing what leaders do, writing books and giving like congressional messages and leaving messages. No, he wrote a lot of letters, but we never see him write the letters.
Why does it seem like you angry at them, bro? Are you angry?
I'm not angry.
Because you're very. Let me say you sound real passionate.
Let me say I've studied. It's something I've studied.
Okay.
It's something and I lived it. Like I grew up in Harlem and I grew up in South Central LA. So when you lie to the community for so long, when you lie, like it's just a
what is the greatest lie that offends you to motivate you to continue on with this conversation?
That they didn't kill Malcolm X.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like that one either. I think it was I just think that it was a lot of working parts, and the NOI was one of those working parts.
No, they were the shooters. They were the planners. Like you gotta understand, like it's like you cutting the grass so people can walk and run faster. Like you're creating a passageway.
But when I say working parts, I'm saying it could not happen without the authorities allowing the getaway, it's so many working parts. And like it's like, you know, every time something happens, a casualty happens, in the name of the NOI, or whether it's Malcolm, whether it's Dr. Khalid Muhammad, then the NOI will say that they're former members. Even what happened to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I think, group in D.C., it would always say that they're former members. And it's ironic that they're always former members. So I'm of the thought that, yeah, the shooters, yes, but there's other working parts in there to make it possible. You know, Malcolm Bodyguard was a police officer undercover, and he didn't know it. You know what I mean? He's his top police. So without this stuff,
I agree.
Some of these things wouldn't be possible. So I'm saying, is it? Are you of the thought that it's a corroboration with the government to pull this thing off, or are you still of the thought that it's exclusively NOI?
No, I'm not saying it's exclusive. And you're also talking to a man that's never drank, never smoked. So you're talking about a man who's disciplined. You're talking about a man who understands discernment.
Mm-hmm.
If you hand me a gun and say, go kill this black man, I have no desire to kill another black man. Like, the black man still has to pull the trigger.
Oh,
like we're alleviating real accountability, dog.
Brother King Cam, you got to admit this.
Like
the hand of it, go pull the trigger.
Yeah,
that's what PE said.
Yeah, like it's no other. I've never in my adult life, I've never committed a violent crime. Not even my childhood. I'm just saying, as an adult, like, I've never committed a violent crime against a black person. Like, and the fact that people defend it, like, it's defended. Like, who are you? He was our traitor. Get the hell out of here. So you have the rights over whether a man lives and dies, Mr. Farrakhan?
Farrakhan had made a statement. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that statement he made?
He said plenty of them.
He said a traitor deserves, and I'm paraphrasing, so don't quote me on this. He said something about a traitor basically deserves what they get.
Yeah, he said it. He said it on the DS. He didn't say it in his house. He said it on the pulpit. So what are you telling the world? What are you telling your members if you say it on the DS?
Let me thank you, Miss Riri, for your Cash App support. I really appreciate you. I got it so I can pop up on the screen, but anybody that sends a Cash App, I will not blow up your spot unless you write it in the comment section that I can mention your name. Thank you so much. Do you think that Farrakhan had anything to do with it?
Absolutely. He was in Mosque 25.
Come on, brother.
He covered.
I like this.
Hey,
listen, I ain't gonna front. I get into my Shay what did they Cat Williams move.
He drove up from Boston that night. Why would you drive up? He was a cover man. He was speaking at Mosque 25 that Sunday. Don't you know? I'm not gonna say every, but everybody knows he drove from Boston that night. Massachusetts. Let's say maybe it wasn't Boston. Oh, he didn't drive up from Boston. you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, everybody knows he drove up from Boston and covered, and they came across the George Washington Bridge and they celebrated. A man who was in there, a man who was in Mosque 25 said they celebrated. It was like Happy New Year's. So what are we saying? Like, this is not a secret,
brother. What do you say when a brother in NOI says that, when they talk about the wives of Elijah Muhammad, and they say that, well, in Islam you can have multiple wives. What do you say about that? Because that's another argument. I'm gonna hit you with all the tough stuff now. Did from your research, did Elijah Muhammad have these multiple wives? And if he's studying Islam, why is it a problem?
Well, John Ali said he had multiple women. Khalid Ali, who was the house worker, said he had. Members of the Nation of Islam said he had. His niece said he had. You saw the film. You saw it. Is it in my voice or is it in their voice? Two women, right? Two women speaking. And 2 women speaking, and I'm sitting there. Yeah. So at the end of the day, they were little girls. Uh, he persuaded them or manipulated. He was a predator. He was a nasty old man.
Oh, come on, Fred. I
But,
never heard nobody.
Yeah, he was a nasty old man. The fact that he had them on a top floor, he calls them down at his leisure, and they served him. And he had a jump off spot. Like, he had a whole apartment where he took the women to.
Come on, First Work Media. Come on, man.
He had a whole apartment. He had a whole apartment.
So, brother, why don't when people mention, when you mention something like this, or if someone does research and mentions something like this, I never heard any rebuttal from the NOI. Like, I got my brother First Work Media. He's in the chat section, and we go toe to toe sometime. But I got the utmost respect for him. And he's a bona fide NOI member. But with that being said, I have yet to find somebody to logically break down the relationships with the women as of yet, besides what I just said about him being a practitioner of Islam, and it's permitted.
It's not permitted. It's not permitted.
That's what I want to get to. What do you say to that?
It's in case of war. First of all, you got to financially be able to support them. And if a wife loses a husband in war or is widow, then they can clinch on to another woman's husband. He never married them. He's only had one wife, Clara Muhammad.
Oh my goodness.
There's no legal documentation saying that he is married. He never claimed his children. What do you call a man who's never claimed who don't claim his children? We spoke to plan this. You was on a field trip. Am I right?
Absolutely.
And you called me 6:30 this morning. What was my text?
I can't remember, but you was I remember. Hold on.
What did I say in my text when you called me 6:30 this morning?
I think you said something about did you say something about dinner or something like that?
No, I'll call you in what? What? Say it. Read it.
After training.
I'll call you in what?
Hold on.
I'm gonna read it because people need to understand what I stand on.
And you said 6:30, so it's different time on my time.
Okay,
That's
yeah. So I said
I'm trying to find it.
So you called me and I said getting kids ready for school. Give me 90 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
90 minutes.
There you go. And I was literally, and in fact, I was on a school trip. Family.
You was on you were on a school. Yeah.
I was on a school trip with my son. Man, amazing school trip, man. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna show you. This our own. This is our school that we put together here, man. This is amazing. Let me. I want to share it with y'all. That's right. I want to share it with y'all. Let me see if I can share it with y'all. If I can turn it sideways.
So what do you call while you're looking for that? So what do you respect the man who doesn't take care of his kids?
Now that's a no.
Oh, it is
in any culture.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is.
That is. That's all.
Documentation.
Yeah.
So if you don't respect, no man should respect another man that doesn't take care of his kids, right?
Where are those children today?
That's who I did the interview. I reached out to him because I saw his interview. He said he had to hide. The man said he had one of his sons. He said in the interview he had to hide. I have all of it. And I'm quoting, he had to hide because it was real hot and he couldn't let the people know that he was the son of Elijah Muhammad. He said it. One of his sons said it.
And it's and to my count, it's supposed to be about 18, give or take, different children.
It's more than that if you count the ones in Mexico.
Come on, Fred.
Yeah, it's real facts. They tell me this. I didn't know this information going in. Yes. Yeah.
Come on, Fred.
He had a whole different life in Arizona than he had in Chicago. Claire Muhammad couldn't drive.
What that got to do with anything?
She caught control, man.
Control. Oh my. So you.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my goodness. So you saying that the control over Claire Muhammad gave him the ability to move in the way that would produce all of these children?
Willfully produce, willfully sin, willfully lie, willfully not be a man who he say he is. He
Did he do anything good in your book, though, brother?
Yes, of course. No, one person can't be all bad. You got to galvanize the people. Of course, he did some good things. Yeah, practicality, common sense, right? But that's part of the get. That's part of the get. You get what I'm saying?
This is something here, man.
Yeah, that's part of the cap. Of course, you can't be all bad. Yeah, of course, he spoke common sense when he spoke. You know, he man, listen. I interviewed two people who were there. And I'm gonna give the most famous, Muhammad Ali's Belinda Boyd. She was Belinda Boyd at the time. Now she's Khalid Ali. And she was in the house when Malcolm X went and spoke to Elijah Muhammad about all the women. Yeah, Betty Shabazz was in the sitting area, and they went into the room and they had a conversation, the office, and had a conversation. She said Malcolm X was so spooked. Malcolm X came out like death was on his face. Like
what do you mean spooked? If you can elaborate on that, what do you mean?
Like so like life left him. Like, you ever seen a person change colors, like kind of like in a scary movie or something like that? Kind of like a cartoon. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. She said like life left his body. Like he couldn't believe that Elijah Muhammad wasn't the man that he said he was all these years. She was there. And the fact that she's giving me the play-by-play. She offered Betty Shabazz tea, and they were having conversations, and they kept that relationship until the day she died. They spoke once a week. Obviously not once a week for their whole life, but they kept in contact. I have all the information and the details of the conversations, like the real intricate conversations and the details of the stories is so profound. And then when you go interview like members of the Nation of Islam, you can tie it together. Yeah, you can tie it together, man. It's in her words, it's a sex cult.
So oh my goodness, I can't even get to that part yet. So what if you may, what was some of was there anything mentioned of the details of how the conversation went? Did Malcolm just say how did that go?
She wasn't in. She said she wasn't there. She said she wasn't in the
So basically, Malcolm walks in and then walks out.
She said she wished she could have paid to be a fly on the wall. That's what she said.
Okay,
that's what she told me. So I told you I'm not lying. I'm not making stuff up. Like because I could lie on her name, but no, I won't do that. She said she wished she could have been a fly on the wall for that conversation. That's what she told me.
Wow. And then how long after that did Malcolm get silenced, if you will?
63, 64, she said that this conversation happened because we went step by step the whole way. And her mother and father were lifelong Nation of Islam members. They had a bakery or something like that. I haven't had this conversation in like over 2 years, so
Right.
Yeah. So, and so the mother and father were lifelong Nation of Islam members, which allowed her to be a server in the house when everybody showed up. She went to the school, she went to the university, and but she didn't give me no details as to what happened. But they never spoke again after that. Like they never was in each other's presence after that.
Read a few comments. Give me one.
Yeah, sure. I can't see the comments. You're asking me to read the comments, so I genuinely can't. Maybe I should just cut it on so you guys. I guess I'll respond to some comments. I'll say this though, like I know I'm saying a lot of things that are contrary to what you've been told or what you believe, and that's fine. That's fine and dandy. Before you can debate me, show me proof of concept. Show me proof of concept. Show me the economic plan that you're living by. Are you in shape? Do you eat bean soup every night? Do you pray 5 times a day? Like, if you're not living that life, then you can't disprove what I'm saying because you're not living it. You can't get on here with a belly and debate me.
I had to shut the window. It's got a little chilly in here. You made it ice cold in here.
You can't. You got to own a house and be in shape to debate me.
Oh,
to even come on. No, I don't even want. I'm being honest. You can't because you're a liar. Right? You're a liar.
They can smoke cigarettes.
No, they can't smoke cigarettes like John Ali. I'm like, John Ali, how you smoking cigarettes and you putting this impurities in your body, man? I do it every Sunday. Like I smoke I read the newspaper and I smoke every Sunday. I bought them 2 packs of cigarettes, man. I forget the names of them, but yeah.
Let me ask you this. Yes. So let me move because we probably got to do a part 2 of this.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. Because I'm all over the place. I'm actually blown away because I'm used to, and people that watch Morris World TV used to my screen shares and my PowerPoints and things of that nature. Yeah. But this is a conversation, and this is a conversation from experience from people that you talk to. And so this is like a very unique interview for Morris World TV. It's on the lines of the same way when I talked to Brother Melchizedek, which he's talking about his experience being in the nation, and you're talking about your experience from interviewing people as well as researching in the nation. So this is very unique, and so I'm all over the place with this one. I love it.
And honestly, he would agree with much of what I'm saying, but he won't articulate it the same way I'm saying.
Right. I got you.
He would ask him how many women was on the top 4.
Good.
Ask him. Like I would love to have a comment. I'm not going to disrespect no elder.
No, you're going to get the conversation. He is already
love to have a conversation with him as it pertains to this, and I want to learn the history. He was under Malcolm X. Like I really want to learn that because I want to be able to take his voice and carry it. Like but he's going to have to prove the economic plan by his life.
He called me today.
Oh, did he? Good.
He called me today. I couldn't get to the phone because I was chasing children. I couldn't get to the phone. I couldn't get to the phone. But I'll call him. But he agreed to have a conversation with you after November the 2nd. Yeah. We are going to do an interview, and it is the one of the secretary's birthday on November the 2nd, and we're going to do that interview. And then after that, you and him going to sit down.
No, and you got to.
That's going to be beautiful.
I'll tell you a funny story. Someone put me on the phone with John Ali. I left that Saturday. It was that week. It was like a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I'm like, I can't have this man die on me. I'm just telling life. I was like, man, I went that Saturday. I left Saturday. I spent all day with them Sunday, and I left Monday. You know what I mean? And it was a once in a lifetime thing because I got confirmation. Nation of Islam murdered Malcolm X. I got confirmation. We're sitting at the dinner table. I have the audio. I just haven't released it, man. You have the audio, and I'm gonna have to put subtitles on it because we're in a restaurant, and he just was really, really comfortable. He was. I wish I could. Well, I got the interview, but I wish I can get the hotel footage and the restaurant footage of the security cameras and stuff like that. And we was in an Uber or a Lyft together all day, driving around Chicago. He had a one favorite restaurant, you know, the same restaurant that he went to on Who Killed Malcolm X. We went to that restaurant and that was his favorite restaurant, you know, and I spent the whole day with him, and he was he was. I think he knew this was his last interview. Like, I'm just being honest with you. I didn't press him. I didn't have to press him. I didn't have to do nothing.
Let me ask you about Farrakhan, about the minister Farrakhan.
Please.
What have you to say about all that the minister did to rebuild the Nation of Islam after the Warith Deen Muhammad took the Nation of Islam to Sunni Islam? How do you feel about the minister, Louis Farrakhan?
But that's the cap of it. Because if you believe in Elijah Muhammad, he said there will be no one after me. Like, that's the cap. So how are you learning from Elijah Muhammad? He is in complete disobedience to Elijah Muhammad.
But you don't think the movement has to go on?
No, that's not what Elijah Muhammad wanted.
I got you.
So you're in complete disobedience. So like it's bewildering to me, man. Like I think Louis Farrakhan, dude, was a conscious. I'm gonna say something, but take it loosely. He was like a conscious Diddy. He was conscious.
Come on now.
Like he was conscious.
Brother, with all that Diddy going through, you can't do that, brother.
No, what I'm saying is not the I'm talking about like the using his power for sex. The man.
Come on, man. There's no stuff out there about the minister, about the stuff like we hear about Diddy these days.
No. I'm not saying it.
Yeah, you got to break that down,
okay,
brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Good goodness gracious.
Give me some room. I'm not implying that. See, I know how YouTube works, so I know how to get people's attention. I'm loosely using Diddy, right? So people go, oh, he's that Diddy. Yeah. No,
bro, we need a talk show, right?
Yeah, he used it for sex. He used the Nation of Islam money to fund women. I spoke to his mistresses.
Who? What? Who
No,
are we talking about? Are we talking about Farrakhan, or are we talking about the
Farrakhan?
I
have interviews with
stop it.
Women.
I need you to stop it. Nobody never heard this, bro. This is exclusive.
Women. Beautiful black women in their day. Beautiful black women. I mean, beautiful, like stunning. Yeah. Like I was like, yeah, I see why you can be attracted to her. And he has kids outside of his family.
Come on now.
Everybody knows that though. That's not a secret. Everybody knows. Come on,
Fred. I'm a drinker.
He has kids with the minister from Miami. He has 2 kids with.
Hey Crip. Come on, Crip.
Hey, what's
we gonna block Fred, man.
What's the
he on the show? We gonna block.
What's the minister that brought Muhammad Ali?
Tony Muhammad.
No, that brought Muhammad Ali to the Nation of Islam. Not Tony Muhammad. That brought Muhammad Ali to the Nation of Islam. Out of Florida.
I can't remember, bro.
They'll mention it in the chat. Yeah, Farrakhan got kids with his daughter. 2.
But they say he's the Messiah now.
You can't be the Messiah and believe in Islam.
Man, I don't know why. Messiah. I don't know what I got myself into.
Nah, you know what you got yourself into. And the reality is people are so afraid though. People are so afraid to have real-time conversation.
Phillips L say, hey, you know what you got. You act like
yeah. But everybody knows this though. This is not a secret.
But why does everybody know this, but nobody have shown
I brought
receipts
the
to
brother
the point
on. The brother. I released that interview.
on your channel?
Farrakhan effed his sister and had kids.
Stop, man.
I got the brother. Bro, his father allowed Farrakhan.
Bro, you know what? Let me say this. I was putting this together, and because of the conversation that we had, I never said what we're going to go into. I said we're just going to interview. And because I looked at the documentary that you sent me, and I scanned your channel. I said it's going to be a good interview. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, I named it The Unknown. I ultimately named this interview something relating to that the unknown Nation of Islam, something about the Nation of Islam that people don't know about. And brother, you saying some stuff.
Yeah, and Khalid Ali was gonna set up the interview with me and Louis Farrakhan. The only thing is I just wasn't prepared. Like, I was in Chicago.
How long ago was this? It's white. You've been on this.
No, whenever it was the first 2 years of COVID, first 2 years of that time. So
you was going to debate the minister Farrakhan?
No, I was going to interview him. I was going to interview him.
Okay.
I was going to. No, I can't debate him. Like, how can I debate him?
Oh yeah, but you was going to interview him.
Yes, but I wasn't prepared. Like, you have to physically be prepared when you're going to confront some man in his home city. You get what I'm saying? Like I wasn't prepared. I didn't have all my eggs in a row. I'm not sure if he would have agreed to it. I'm not saying that he said yes, but she was going to make the phone call while I was in Chicago, and I was going to stay a day or two to set that up. But you have to physically be prepared when you're going somewhere and you know you're 100% not in agreement with them. So, and I wasn't prepared. So, if I would have had security and all that, I definitely would have gone. But I was there by myself, so I had to get in and get out.
How many children outside of what we know of the minister's relationship you saying that he has?
I can't answer that.
How many do you know of?
I would have to go through my interview log. Like, I've never quantified it.
Is that no? But if you have to think like that's not a good sign.
Yeah, it's multiple women.
Mm-hmm. And nobody in the Nation of Islam ever speaks on this.
They can't, because it goes against, because he's only admitted to 9, right? Nine kids or 8, one of them. And so he was on C-SPAN one time. I have all this footage. And he says, how many kids you have? I have 8 or 9. The answer was 8 or 9. Yeah, he never. I'm gonna have to send you that interview.
So it says he has 9 children. Is all of them with Khadijah?
Yes.
All
the one
those
that
9.
He's speaking of right then and there. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're saying that outside of Khadijah?
Oh, for sure. I interviewed the brother.
But they say he's the Christ in our midst.
But that's the whole thing. If he is Christ, then he doesn't read the Quran.
What logic? What you mean by that? If he's Christ, he doesn't read the Quran.
Because Christ is Christianity. Christ, Christmas.
But Christ is in the Quran too, though.
Yes, but you're not Christ, though. Like you're the leader, right? You're basically saying you're the leader.
Yeah.
Nah, he's not the leader, man. He's lived a long time.
But people make him the leader, though. If people say that he's their leader, then he's their leader.
He's their leader. Yeah. That's fine. How are they doing?
Oh man, come on, Fred. They're striving, Fred.
He's the only one in the mansion.
Oh my goodness.
How are they doing?
Man, you something else, brother.
No, I mean like
Man, listen, y'all
man,
brothers in the NOI was mad at me because I threw a
they've
few
been
of
mad
the
at me for
receipts.
years, man.
But
They've
this
been mad
brother
at me
here
for
talking
years.
about Farrakhan got a whole another family, couple families.
Facts. It's not a secret. This ain't a secret. When he dies, all this going to come out because they're not going to be financially rewarded. All the water gets turned off, just like with Elijah Muhammad. All the water gets turned off. Thank God he's outliving a lot of them, possibly. You know, he might make it to 100. Only God knows. Only Farad knows.
Brother, do you think that the minister carried on the teachings of Elijah Muhammad for the benefit of the followers of Elijah Muhammad? Because when he transitioned and they went to Sunni, it seemed like the flock was scattered. Wouldn't it make sense for one to take the mantle to bring people back under those teachings? I know you mentioned that Elijah Muhammad said, no, after me there'll be no more. But what about the scattered flock? Isn't it good that he will be able to bring them together and continue to help the drunks to be sober and stop the prostitutes from prostituting? I mean, like, I try to look at the silver lining.
You're gonna find good in basically everything. Like the Melendez brothers, you can find good in them. They probably use their money to feed the homeless sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, serial killers don't wake up every day and kill every day. Like, they have to live normal lives too. By no means am I comparing him to a serial killer. He's not a serial killer, but bad people do good things too, man. Drug dealers give out turkeys on Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? They pay rent. The fact that we saying Frank Lucas is cool because he paid the rent, but your uncle's blood is on that money. Get the hell out of here, dog. Like, oh man, he helped the poor people in Harlem, man. He never let this business, man. He bought basketballs for all the kids, man. But his father strung out on that boo magic. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So at the end of it, yes, he did good, but it was to further himself.
Who you think going to be the next leader of the Nation of Islam?
I think it'll be fractions.
You think it's just going to fall back to factions?
Yeah, because I don't think no one is popular enough. Like, you got to be popular, man. Like, and you're gonna have to have your own financial windfall. Like you got to sustain it, because people just don't give you money. You got to literally sustain it yourself and fund it. And
so are you saying that the finances from the NOI is Farrakhan's money and not NOI money? Because if someone comes after him, like somebody saying, bro, Ishmael, like Ishmael,
it ain't gonna be that. It ain't gonna be that, because it's gonna be Khadijah's, right?
Right.
Forgive me for calling her Khadijah. Like, I don't want to disrespect her. Madam Khadijah, is that? I'm being honest. Like, what do you call her? Madam Khadijah, Miss Khadijah?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So it goes to her.
So you're saying that all of the earnings from the foot soldiers of NOI ultimately will not be the organizations, but it goes to an individual.
I would believe. I don't know this. I would believe so.
But that's actually what happened with Elijah Muhammad. A lot of his finances were
in maternity suits.
Yeah.
They were on maternity suits, man. And it went on and on and on and on. Like, people don't even do the research. People don't even do the research that takes 10 buttons on
yeah,
Google.
Because the organization as the Nation of Islam, they didn't have anything. When Elijah, it's kind of like when a CEO passed, the CEO have his money, then he have the company's money that he was managing for the company, and the company can go on because the company have equity and the company have finances.
No,
but
Nation Islam just has none of that. None of that. Just think, man. There are 65-year-old men selling bean pies and
Come on, man.
Oh, listen to me. Listen.
These are my friends.
They are my. I wouldn't call them my friends, but I've bought a bean pie. Or when I was doing my research, I always made a point to go to Crenshaw and King Boulevard, and they always on Martin Luther King Boulevard. Ain't that amazing? Like every city you go, you'll find a Nation of Islam member on King Boulevard. But the point I want to say is, but that's a microcosm of the lack of development, right? So the point I'm making is, why is a 65-year-old man selling bean pies and final calls to make a living?
Could he be just selling them just to help the cause of spreading the word and not necessarily making a living?
Some of them. Sure. But what's the majority? They're honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. Like when you see, for the most part, when you see a 65, 70-year-old man peddling bean pies and final calls and a suit that's been in the cleaners too many times, you know, it's real sleek and shiny, and yeah, it's sad. They had no retirement plan.
Good goodness.
It's sad. It's really, really sad.
What do you say? What do you say about some people in the chat saying that Wesley Muhammad was on your show and he was able to pin you down on some of your points?
Sure. I say to you, he did. I'm not debating it. He can't disprove the facts. He wasn't there. Two, the fact that the man said that he would allow Elijah Muhammad to wife his daughter is disgusting.
No, he did not say that. He said he would allow Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, to be a mistress. Yeah, he said he would be his mistress. I use the term mistress. I call it what it is. The mistress. Old nasty man sleeping with your 22-year-old daughter. Well, maybe 15. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Elijah don't have age requirements. You know, at least the white man got age requirements.
What
Islam ain't got age requirements.
Good night. Oh my goodness. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. So
This is proven. John Ali said it. John Ali said it, man.
What were you and Wesley having a discussion about?
It was when I was doing my research. And he was the loudest. He was one of the loudest men on the internet, and I had a big platform at the time. You know, I was jumping. I was jumping during COVID, man. I had 1,000 people a night in my live, 500 people. You know, I was jumping, and he was the loudest barrel, and I wanted to bring him on, and I have no respect for him. I have zero respect. I have no respect for a man that has to take care of his family, and he said he has to ask for permission to teach at a college. Right? He had to ask for permission. Like, I saw him post. I don't follow him anymore, but he posted like he was trying to get a job at the University of San Francisco or something, and he had to ask Louis Farrakhan for permission. Isn't that a conversation you have with your wife?
But I'm just saying, if he's in an organization goal oriented, going into a certain direction, and the direction
for permission.
But I'm just saying, just play the angel's advocate. If the organization is oriented and going into a certain direction,
permission.
But I'm
you consult with God made man and woman. It wasn't Adam and Eve and Louis Farrakhan.
But the thing is, they might have.
It wasn't Adam and Eve and Louis Farrakhan.
Have you ever been a part of an organization?
No, I would say a basketball team.
Have you ever if you work for an establishment and the establishment said these are the rules, wouldn't you have to abide by those rules? Maybe those are the rules. Like, no, you can't work there until we can approve that this is consistent with the mission statement of the NOI.
Well, that pretty much
that possible?
Sums up why he would allow Elijah Muhammad
his
daughter to be one of his mistresses. Simple.
Mm,
Ain't no man consulting with asking for permission from another man to better his family.
But if you're part of an organization or
No,
something,
no, 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 no. So why apply? Right? Why apply?
what did Wesley do?
What do you mean? I don't know what his final decision was, but the fact that he asked for permission.
No, I'm saying what did he do on the podcast to ruffle your feathers? Did he ruffle your feathers a little bit? What did he say?
I don't respect.
Oh, you just didn't. You just don't respect that.
I just don't respect him. I don't respect him because him and I'll tell you what made me want to get on his want him to come on my platform is that him and Mark Lamont Hill were saying that Malcolm X was gay. Like they said,
I can't stand those. When Malcolm can't defend himself.
And him and Marcus Lamont Hill, they've since scrubbed the internet of that interview, by the way. And I saw it with my own eyes. I heard it, and that what made me get on it. Now, see, he's a historian that loves to tell narratives. And I tell people, you're never going to win a debate with the Nation of Islam member. That's not the point. Just get them to deflect your questions and not answering your question. That's all you want them to do. Like, you're not going to win a debate with Rizza Islam. You're not going to win a debate with that half Negro in Indianapolis.
I actually disagree with that because I don't never see them doing a debate where they show and prove. Like you say, they just see a narrative.
Yeah.
The way I debate, I'm going to show you receipts every step of the way. I'm never going to debate with you saying something and I'm saying something. I'm going to show you the historical account that's written. If I say Farrakhan has babies outside of Mother Khadijah, then I'm going to show every picture of every baby. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't debate that. You know what I mean? If
From
I
that
say
perspective, you're right. Yes, I agree. Like, but I'm talking about in terms of the people's opinion, right?
Right.
In terms of the people's opinion, like, you're not.
Yeah, I don't like them type of debates. I would never get in those type of debates because those type of debates is you're just throwing out ideas. But if I ever debate somebody in it doesn't matter what it is, religion, history, whatever, I'm going to have a PowerPoint ready and I'm going to answer everything with a PowerPoint.
Oh, man,
that way you can't run.
Yeah,
you can't run. If I say that Elijah has 18 children and some in Mexico, I'm going to have the Mexican children right on the big screen. Right. I'm going to have them right there. And I'm going to be able to prove it without a shadow of a doubt. Bro, let's get to this real quick before we wrap up, bro.
Yes.
What do you say to those in the NOI say, well, what are you doing? Because you're saying that they're not a nation and they're not showing proven. What are you doing to help, quote unquote, the situation that we face as a people?
Well, I didn't sign up to be a part of the nation. No, I didn't. I'm Frederick Hawthorne. I'm Team Hawthorne all the way.
Right.
I have a family, got 2 kids, got a beautiful wife. Life is great for me. I'm. If you want to know how I live, I live on an estate. Like, I'm a deca millionaire. Like, I'm worth millions upon millions of dollars. And it started from an unemployment check. I live in a mansion.
Oh my, come on, Fred.
No, I'm being dead ass honest. Like,
with marble countertops.
Man, I got it all. But the point.
Oh, Fred, come on.
But people will tell you this because I know some of my people are in the chat. But it's no secret. The point I'm making is you got to be who you say you are. Right. It's real. I'm not a Nation of Islam member. I'm Team Hawthorne. I since the first day of I've been on the internet. I'm Team Hawthorne. How we communicate, it tells you who I am. I said I get done training my kids at 6, and then we have dinner.
Right.
And I said, so I can't do 6:30. I text you and I said I can make 7.
That's what you said.
Oh, this is in one day. You call me at 6:30. I said, give me 90 minutes. I'm getting the kids ready. I got to drop them off to school. Dre is a doctor. I want to make her mornings easy. right? Andrea. People, oh, he got a man. No, Andrea. I make her life easy. I take the kids to work, then I drive to work. She never
Right.
take the kids to school. She never pick them up. And I
Right.
love it. You get what I'm saying? So I attempt to make her life easy. I condense my day into a 5-hour work day. And that's what I do. So you got my day, just our brief conversation.
Just from our conversation
You got
today.
my day. That's my day every day.
Yeah.
And that's simply it. I'm not claiming to be the leader of black men. I'm not claiming to be.
So why would you criticize those who are putting some effort to lead our people?
Because if you choose to lead, then you got to be who you say you are.
Man, you keep hitting me with that one.
They got blood on their hands, man.
Yeah.
Louis Farrakhan has blood on his hands.
When you say he has blood on his hands, what about Dr. Khalid Muhammad? Do you think that there was what do you say about the issue with Dr. Khalid Muhammad? And this is the last segment, and then we'll do a part two. In fact, we'll do right after the second. We'll schedule for right after the second. I'll talk to Melchizedek tomorrow because this is a beautiful conversation. I think it's a family. Hit the thumbs up on this. This is just a beautiful conversation. You don't have to agree. I know you expect somebody to have a PowerPoint every time they come on Moorish World TV, but that's not going to happen all the time.
I stand on what I say though.
Brother had the interviews. He had the interviews.
I got the information. I have it, and listen. But getting to your point, I'm not Kamala Harris. I answer every question. But
right.
You mentioned the man was shot by Nation of Islam members,
right,
in Riverside, California, at the University of Riverside. Right. They have video of the Nation of Islam members hiding the gun in the bushes. Conversation is dead there. Conversation is dead. And you know what's poetic justice? Malcolm X is buried in Ferncliff. You know who else is buried in Ferncliff?
Who that?
Take a guess. Who you just said?
Dr. Khalid.
Khalid Muhammad is about 3/4 of a mile from Malcolm X's gravesite in Ferncliff, New York. Ferncliff Cemetery. Yes, it's just poetic justice. James Baldwin is buried. It's so much poetic justice. It's funny how I'm gonna use the term humanity because I don't want to separate us by religion. How humanity just tells us the truth. Khalid Muhammad and Malcolm X are buried in the same cemetery.
Goodness gracious. I never knew that.
Yes. It's crazy. Every time I go to New York, I go visit them. With Aaliyah. I don't go visit Aaliyah every time, but Aaliyah's there, you know. But yeah, man, it's Betty Shabazz is buried.
What do you think was the motivation for the assassination attempt on Dr. Khalid Muhammad?
Man, when you got the information, dog, like it's like Diddy. See, I'm giving another Diddy. I'm not comparing them to Diddy, but when you got the information and you got the stronghold, Khalid Muhammad would have been bigger than Louis Farrakhan.
He had the younger generation. He had the attention of the youngsters.
He was like Tupac. He was like a non-rapping Tupac.
Yeah, I can agree.
You get what I'm saying? Like Farrakhan never had the streets like that. Farrakhan is half black.
Oh my goodness!
He's a African American. But I said that to say my children are half black. Like I'm not saying it as in like